Hey guys, Praveen here, and in this video we are going to look at variables in Figma. So Figma has this design token system called variables, which has the colors, gradients, spacing, strings, everything that you have in a design system, grids even. So everything that you will have in a design system, you can add it in a variable, and the variable has light mode, dark mode, everything. So you can use that to create your UIs and everything, which will have specific design to the light mode, specific design to dark mode. You can adjust the text, you can adjust the font family, everything. So yeah, it's useful for theming. Not only theming, you can even use it for like spacing. You can have content space, and you can change the language, you can change anything you want, colors, themes, grid structure, everything. So yeah, let's see how we use variables. So you start using variables by clicking on this button right over here in the right hand corner. It's called local variables. It has open variables. Previously we only used to have styles, so now everything's moving on to variables right now. So but you can still have colors and styles and everything, but think about styles as a wrapper over variables. So variables will have the smallest design token, like the colors, grids and everything, and you can use those to create some styles that you can use everywhere. So you can open variables by clicking on this. So I'm opening my variables panel right now. It has specific sections that you can add, and in each section you can have specific groups for like button colors, input colors, effect colors, things like that. So yeah, spacing collection consists of number of variables, and inside that you will have number variables, string variables, color variables, everything. So that's how you open variables, and you can create variables by clicking on something here. For create collection, you can rename the collection to something you want, and you can start adding variables right over here. So we have four types of variables: colors, numbers, string, and boolean. Boolean is just true or false to hide something or not, mostly. String is for the text. If you want to change the language of a page just by selecting something over here, you can do that with that, and that's it. So you can create a new variable by going over here, create collection. You can delete the existing collection, so I just deleted that one. And yeah, when to separate collections, I usually do not separate by collections. So when I'm working on something like in one file, I just use that file. I just add everything here and I separate by groups. So let's see if something has, yeah, I separate by groups. So all the colors will be in one group, all the grids will be in one group, all the spacing will be in one group. So I just use groups, not collections, for that. But it's your preference. You can separate by collection if you want, whenever you want. So yeah, there are four types of variables, as we said: color, which is just hex values; number, which is mainly used for spacing, padding, gap, things like that, which is just number, any number you want to, even like decimal, like 0.5; and string, which is of course just names, like strings like these, which is mostly used for language translations; and boolean, which is true or false, which is used to show or hide some elements. Yeah, we have color, which is mostly, as I said, hex values, numbers, for border radius, horizontal padding, vertical padding, even gaps; and strings, which is of course for all the strings that we have everywhere, which we can change languages; and of course boolean, which is mostly used for prototyping and showing some element on a row. And you can also alias values. So aliasing is like choosing some values from some other existing library. So if you have some other existing library, you can just choose a value from that. So let's do that. Let's do something on it. Okay, yeah, if you can see here, so this background primary is color brand, which comes from this one. So this color brand, you can just add it over here. So you are aliasing this color brand. So when you change this color brand somewhere, it changes everywhere. So that's aliasing. And groups, yeah, I usually arrange everything by groups, like the colors, numbers. I usually arrange it by just colors, spacing, grids, things like that. So that's much easier, I think, and it's way more, you can see everything in one screen. Scoping is nothing but you can select some. So if you have colors, right, you can select where you can apply that color. So if I go to some over here, so we have the brand color or we have the button color over here. So you can just right click and edit this variable, and you can go to scope. Since this is color, it shows wherever we have colors, so like in fill, stroke, effects. But if you don't want this background color to apply on stroke, you can just remove this. So you can scope all the variables to something that so wherever we need it to use, that's all. So if this is a number variable, it shows everywhere that it can be applied to, but this is just effect, so we can just apply this to effect and remove everything else. So you can just add it to effects. So it's very detailed, and it's very useful. So if you're working with teams or someone with the fellow designers, you can add scoped variables so they don't use it everywhere, and you also have if you're opening a file after some time, you also know, okay, these variables are for this. So it's very handy that way. And modes is for the theme switching mostly. So you can, as you can see here, we have light mode over here and we have the dark mode. So you can just add whatever mode you want for everything, all the variables. You can add modes, and you can add however many modes you want. If you want a new mode, you can just go and add something new, and it'll just work. So mode is mostly used for, as I said, switching themes. So once you add a mode, you can just go in here and change the theme to something dark or light, and it just works. Next is variable styles. I recommend mostly to use variables right now. There's not much different. So styles comes under special things, like for adding like we have more things, like if you need an image, a gradient, and a color. So if you're stacking variables, if you're creating a gradient which uses variables, you can go for styles. But mostly just use variables for like design tokens, and then you can go with something like this one, brand purple, or mostly I use it for effects and grids, that's all. I don't use colors for this, and typography. So if you have a typography, you have to combine font styles, font size, line height, everything. We use variables for that. And applying variables is very easy most of the time. You can just go in here, you can so you can go in and apply. Everything will have this icon, which is the variable icon. So you can just go in, and wherever we have the variable icon, we can apply the color. So here you can just go in here and select some other colors. So yeah, so it's very simple. Whenever you go, you can just go in, and if something doesn't have this icon, you can just right click and select apply variable. Next we have the inherit and set modes. It's to easily switch between design and like content themes. So if you're in a page, you can go to this section that we have right over here and change the modes to light mode, dark mode, everything. And if you're card, you can again select the card, go to this section, you can change it to light mode, dark mode, whatever we have over here. You can use this is the mode applying, and same for button, you'll have this. So you can change the text to English, Japanese, everything. It's this button to change the modes everywhere. So, and you will have inherit mode. So if this something has the dark mode as its inheritance, if you bring something into it, it will automatically add the dark mode to whatever is inside that frame or group or anything. So that's neat. You can just select everything, and let's change this, maybe string to German. Yeah, that works. Let's change the colors to dark. That works. And let's change the spacing to maybe condensed. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, it's very powerful. It's like basically like using variables in or CSS, using Tailwind, things like that. But this is in Figma itself. Yeah, so that's the basic overview of variables in Figma. I'll share this community file. This is by Figma, so you can go in and you can practice everything, and you can see how they organize their variables and everything. I'll also share a file that I created, which has like basic variables, Tailwind design system variables, which and that I have everything organized the way that I like it. So you can see that file also in the description. Let me know if you like this video, and if you want me to work on more videos like this explaining some basics of Figma. That's all for now. Bye bye.